Hello YouTube, this is Gora Radio Moscow here again with another beer review. Now my last one took us all the way to Australia, but this time we're going to come back to Scotland. This is the Brewdog Hardcore IPA. Now this is one of 7 beers in the core range offered by Brewdog in 2013. For the Brewdog fans among you watching, the others are the 5am Saint, Punk IPA, Dogma, Libertine Black Ale, Cocoa Psycho and Tokyo Star, and this is the 7th one of course. Now, for those of you who haven't heard of Brewdog before, they're a Scottish craft brewery based in the northeast of the country. They were founded back in 2007 by James Watt and Martin Dickey in the Keswick Industrial Estate in Fraserburgh, which is on the very sort of tip of the northeast of Scotland. But recently in 2012 they moved their brewing facility into Ellon. They got a brand new facility where they're building a visitor centre, so you can go and visit this brewery fairly soon. But they moved down to Ellon. The Fraserburgh site remains as an experimental beer lab, and I believe they also still brew some of their heavier things there, the high percentage ones and the experimental beers. But in addition to the core range that I mentioned earlier, they brew several occasional ones. They put really random ingredients and things in it. For example, there was one called Hello, My Name is Marit, which I've reviewed. I have 3 other Brewdog reviews incidentally, and I'll put the links for these in the description. But for Hello, My Name is Marit, they used lingonberries, and they also had another one which was called Hello, My Name is Ingrid, which was, I believe, used cloudberries as well. So they do things like that and experiment with random ingredients. They're quite cool in that sense. But I'll put the links to my other Brewdog videos for you in the description. You can check these out if you want. But anyway, the company also owns several bars around the country. The first one opened in 2010 in Aberdeen, and this was followed in 2011 by sites in Glasgow and Edinburgh. They've also expanded into England. I believe there is a London Islington bar, Bristol, Birmingham, Newcastle, and I think Nottingham maybe. And I think they are looking to make ones in Manchester and Liverpool as well. But anyway, getting on to this beer itself, when I was looking up the details of this beer, apparently it won the Beer World Cup Gold Award in 2011. I'm not sure if that was in its particular category of beer, but obviously if it's won something like that, it's going to be a hell of a good beer. Now this one is a double IPA, which Brewdog say means more hops, more malt, more bitterness and more alcohol. It has 100% Scottish malt base, Maris Otter malts, crystal malt and caramel. There's 3 types of American hops in it: Columbus, Centennial and Simcoe. As you can see on the bottle here, I'll just let you have a little look at the bottle and artwork on this. One thing I noticed with this one actually is my one that I have here seems to be a US import. It says imported by the Anchor Brewing Company, San Francisco. They're a very good brewery. I need to get some of their beers to review for you. The bottle cap for this one, as you can see, is the standard Brewdog Blue Dog on there. So this is a 9.2% explicit imperial ale as it's described. There's actually quite a funny description of this one on the website, which I'll read out to you. I just thought this was a really odd thing. It's a hell of a shock, something that gets the adrenaline pumping like a 400 volt shot in a copper bathtub. It has to be good for the soul. Join the hardcore elite, screw down the throttle and ride until your lungs bleed and your arms numb. Gun the fucker. Don't pull back or slow down until the crazy music starts, then sit stunned, wall-eyed, open-mouthed in the realisation that this mother will drill you with Panzer-like efficiency and you'll beg for more. It's quite... Brewdog tend to do things like that with their with their little product descriptions and things like that. It's one of the trademarks of the company, but as is tradition with my Brewdog beers, I will read out the blurb to you that's on the bottle here. This Imperial India Pale Ale rocks hardcore, but don't feel obliged to take our word for it. This bottle has a grandiloquent story to tell. 2,204 malted Maris Otter grains give all they had to offer to the world to provide the robustly delicate toffee malt canvas for the ensuing epic. 4 hop cones willingly sacrificed themselves in a fiery cauldron that is our bake kettle to ensure your mouth is left feeling punished and puckering for more. 9,900,000,000 yeast cells frantically fermented their little hearts out as the sugars were magically turned into alcohol in the dark depth of our fermentation tanks. 2 humans and 1 canine companion are relatively happy with the results. Brewed and bottled by Brewdog PLC at Fraserburgh, Scotland. So yeah, that's a tradition that they tend to put on all their bottles. They have a really little random blurb. But without further ado, we'll get on with the tasting of this beer. I'm quite interested to try this one. I've never tried this particular Brewdog one before, but my friend who really loves his Brewdog raves about this one, so I'm actually quite interested to see what the fuss is about. But I didn't say actually, this is a 9.2% ABV one. It's as I said earlier, it's a double/Imperial IPA. Just get this out and we'll have a little taste. It's actually a beautiful looking reddy amber colour, I would say. There's a nice kind of head foaming on there. It's quite a bubbly head rather than a foamy head, I would say. There's a big nose on this, big nose. There's a few bubbles in there. It's kind of holding it up to the light. It's kind of hazy. You can see there's a bit of redness in there. It's a really beautiful colour actually. It's a really beautiful looking beer, I would say. But there's a big nose on this, which is this is actually typical of Brewdog to have big nose on their beer. But yeah, I'm getting kind of the citrus and floral hops in there. There is a bit of a resiny smell to it as well. There's some kind of pininess as well. I'm not really getting caramel from it actually, which is quite interesting. But let's give it a taste. Oh, this is very, very thick on the mouth actually. It's got a very rich flavour. This is really nice. You're kind of getting, I am getting the caramel malts to begin with. Yeah, the caramel malts to start with. The citrus comes in. There is an element of pininess to the taste as well. Yeah, the citrus comes in kind of with the pine. The citrus kind of comes in after you get over the caramel taste, and then you get that little bit of pininess as well. There is I would say there's a fair bit of bitterness at the end of this one. This is really nice actually. This is a really nice beer. I can see why it's won this Gold World Cup award in 2010. This is really nice. But yeah, on the mouth, it's actually very thick. It feels very thick. It's got a really nice mouthfeel. You don't actually get the carbonation from this one. And interestingly, with it being 9.2%, you don't get that kind of burn from the alcohol in it. It's more the big taste that you get. It has a pretty prominent kind of aftertaste. I mean, this is mainly, I'm kind of getting the aftertaste is quite like, you're getting mainly the floral hops and the element of citrus and pininess to it. The caramel in it you only get at the start of the taste. But yeah, this is I have to say, this is a beautiful beer. I would quite happily drink this quite a lot, but obviously it's 9.2%. It's maybe one that for a night out you enjoy one particular night out. I can't really think of what it would be good to drink this beer with actually in terms of food. Maybe drinking it with some bread and cheese and salami or something like that would be good, but that's usually better for darker beers, I would say. But yes, overall very nice beer. If you've never tried Brewdog before, I would say maybe try either the 5am Saint Dogma maybe, or Punk IPA as your first one, but definitely give this one a try once you've got more of a feel of the sort of style that Brewdog brew in. They have a very kind of distinct, you can always tell a Brewdog beer by the flavours. They have a distinctive kind of, they always have a distinctive taste, I would say. But yes, this is a really nice beer. I would highly recommend it, but like I say, give some of the other lighter Brewdog ones a try before you have this. Really good beer. But anyway, thanks again for watching my beer reviews. I'll be back with another one. I have another, for the Brewdog fans among you, I have something daft like another 18 bottles or so of Brewdog that I'll review sporadically over the next little while. But thanks again for watching. Please comment and let me know your own thoughts on the beer indeed, and obviously tell me some random beers that you would recommend yourself. Thanks again for watching, and I shall catch you soon. Cheers.